Hi everyone, Tash again. I thought I'd do a really quick video in relation to the tabs for the monthly planner. I just doctored up a bit of a template I thought you might find useful, and I'll explain that in a moment. First of all, in my previous video, I criticised Erin Condren for having a fail missing tabs. They actually fell down the bottom of that card. Now I was going to grab the colour ones. They come like this, and then they open like that, and they're shoved in this way. So if you do that, they'll fall out. So just in case you find some that look like they're missing, open it up and have a look to make sure they haven't fallen away, because, well, I fell for it. And I've got to send Erin Condren an email and say, really sorry, I actually do have the tabs, please don't send me more. Anyway, so how I've done these tabs, so I've gone and tried and put them in all together. I failed with that one, but that actually serves my purpose, and I'll explain to you why in a minute. I've got one of the backing papers from one of the stickers that I got, and I measured the length of the or the height of the page. Now I'm working in centimetres because I don't work in inches. It was 22 centimetres in length. You divide that in half to the 11 centimetres, and then I divided that into 3 so that I would have in the first section 3 tabs, second section 3 tabs, and so on. So basically dividing it into 3 becomes, each section is 3.7 centimetres, which is like here, and then in the middle of that is 1.85, which is what I use to line up the tab. So the 1.85 little knob is there, and then what I do is I measure the tab itself, and I've just misplaced mine. So you have your tab here, measure up your, if I can get the, oh, sorry to make you seasick, I'm trying to do this with one hand is not working. You measure it up to your 3 centimetres, mark it at 1.5, and then what I did is match up the middle of the tab here, sorry, middle of the marker ruler, and then with the middle of the tab here. So what I would do is, if I go to August, line up the tab to the top of the page. I've marked, you probably can see a tiny little dot that I've put on there. It's done with a friction pen so I can rub it out. And then I'll mark it up and then put it in. Now, these stickers are really sticky. So I'm just trying to open up one to show you. You take the 3M, these false nails, I can't take them off, so I had to use a pair of tweezers. Make sure you line up your tab first to make sure you've got it in as far as you want, and somehow just hold the piece of paper there, and then when you leave it, you take your tab off, then stick it, lining it up with the middle of the tab, turn your page over, and then essentially it'll be looking like this, and then you just take the other bit of sticky tape off and then you adhere it, and then you follow it carefully for the rest of the tabs. Now, I had a brain fart moment and had a fail and put my June too far down. I've lined it up with the wrong line because just not concentrating. So I couldn't take it off. I actually tried to. You have a look here. I've made a nice mess of it trying to peel it off, and that little sucker was not moving at all. I'm trying to neaten that up a bit. But anyway, but it's not so bad because I'll use it as an example. Because of the weird way Erin Condren has done the planner, you're starting your 6 months at August. So it goes down to August to January, which is really odd. And then you go down to, obviously, February to July. What you could do is do your top top 5, so the top row being 5 at the top, and then underneath having 7. I haven't measured that out because it's just not the way I worked it that way, and it would peek through much like this. Now I didn't want to do it that way because I didn't want too many colours and it just looking a bit too busy and then I'd get lost. But you may decide to do it that way. So it would eventually, and I'll turn my thing around, therefore it would be 5 up the top, and then you have your 7, so your 7th one starting at the bottom, number 1 up there, and your top one of your 5 would be in between. Excuse me. I think that'd work out that way. I'm not really sure. I could be wrong. But anyway, that's just a quick guide in relation to the setup. I'll just put that there. Oops, hang on. Like so. So you can see how it works. Lining the top of the piece of paper with the page and then marking it down the bottom like that, and then just doing it in half first and then dividing by 3.7 for each one, and then within the 3.7, 1.85, so that you can mark it on the tab, and Bob's your uncle and Fanny's your aunt. See ya.